Gene Smith says, I'm wondering how I might choose my next tartan since I am a smith. I have smith kilts already. However, my direct to Scotland lineage includes Anderson, Duncan, Gordon, Wilson, Oliphant, and more. Plus, my wife is a McCallum Buchanan, so I could theoretically honor her family also. He's got too many choices, is what he's worried about.
Fair.
Should I limit myself to the tartans based on my father's side or my mother's side, or can I honor my wife's family, or could I just go rogue and just get what I like? What is the usual and customary rule that most guys go by? So what do most guys do, and then work backwards from there?
Sure.
So
what do most people do? How do they pick their tartan?
Their second tartan.
Or the second or third or fourth or 27th.
Yeah.
I would say most people start with, if you're coming at it from a heritage angle, let's start with that supposition.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're coming at it from a heritage angle, most guys or gals will pick their family tartan. So they'll pick their, generally speaking, paternal side. Sometimes they do maternal side, but they start down that branch. If their last name happens to be Gordon or something with a particular tartan, then a lot of people will pick that actual tartan. You don't have to, though. If you're a Buchanan, but you're also a McDonald on your grandmother's side, and you just really, really don't like the Buchanan tartan, you're just not a fan of it for whatever reason, then sure, you can happily pick the McDonald tartan as well. There's no hard and fast rule saying you must express your heritage this way. It's your heritage. It's your life. It's yours to express in the way you want to express it. It's your clothing. So it's clothing with meaning, but it is your decision and it's your clothing. So if you have, more than one, frankly speaking, you have option. If you only have one, you still probably have options because you can pick ancient, modern, or weathered or muted.
Right.
But if you have multiple tartans you can pick, then I would say either pick the part of your family or the branch of your family that you are closest to and go that direction. If you want to, get a second kilt, then great. Maybe you pick a secondary tartan from a different branch of the family. Or if you're married, maybe you wear your wife's tartan because, you want to honor her side of the family. If you just love, you love America, maybe you pick the American Dream tartan. If you love wilderness, you pick a universal, tartan from House of Edgar that they're doing, and they're marled yarns. Or if you've been to the Isle of Skye and you had a wonderful time there, maybe you wear the Isle of Skye tartan. You can wear different tartans to honor your heritage. It doesn't have to be a direct line. My last name is Gordon, so I'm wearing the Gordon tartan. That's the only thing I will wear. You can do that if you want to. That is 100% a viable way to do it. But don't put yourself in a box. Don't tie your hands before you make the decision. Mm-hmm. You may want to start that way, but it doesn't have to stay there if you want to wear something different.
Yep. I'm sure there are guys out there who admire all kinds of tartans and think they're all beautiful, but still decide to only wear their clan tartan. And maybe they have other objects in other tartan because they love it. If that's you, I admire your discipline. I could not possibly do that. I'm a magpie. I like shiny things. So, there's really no hard, fast rule about this. I think definitely most people start off with a clan tartan if they're coming from the heritage standpoint. I'm from the opposite perspective. I came from the fashion side of things. My first kilt I ever owned was black, just shadow weave black. And then I got into the heritage stuff later. And I'm much better now. But really, especially if you're talking about your second tartan or third or whatever, there's no rule. And there's other factors you can consider that, Rocky, you didn't mention. Like, you could decide that for formal occasions, you want something really bright that's going to look in the low light of the ballroom or the place where you guys go for your theater performances or your burn supper, your St. Andrew's dinner, things like that. You want something that just really pops in low light. Or you might decide you want to go seasonal and have something that really feels fall to you for the fall, and something that feels more light and springy, for the spring, or for summer, something that just feels less heavy, So there's colors, very abstract things like that, not just the familial connections and the social connections. So there's any number of ways to choose it. So I wouldn't worry about it. Stretch out with your feelings.
Yeah, there's no wrong way to express your heritage. Well, there are wrong ways. Okay, there are some wrong ways, but there's no wrong tartan to pick. So it's whether you want to be connected to it or not, whether you want to have only a particular either color palette or a particular just your clan tartans, or if you want to branch out in different things, or if you want to start with a non-clan tartan universal one that's a less expensive one, but you're going to save up and get your clan tartan for the formal stuff, so you have the nicest kilts to wear for that. So there are different ways to come at it depending on where you are in this journey. It's the journey of your heritage and the journey of life. And your finances. It's all very, very much a personal thing. If you don't have a lot of money and you want to start with the lower end to see if you like it, and then you work your way up, great. So it's all depending on what you want to do and how you want to go at it. There's no wrong answer. There's no wrong way to do it. Just start.
Nothing hard and fast.
Exactly.
Yeah. So and he's coming from the opposite perspective because he already has his Smith clan tartan.
Yep.
But yeah, if you are on a budget, like you said, or timid about getting started in this stuff, and you have an obscure clan, and you're only going to be able to get it as a custom weave, or it's going to be more expensive, because it's only available in 16-ounce wool, and what you have right now is a PV budget, then start with that. And then save up for the clan. I think that's a good point. It's kind of the switcheroo of what he's dealing with. But yeah, no wrong answer.
Yeah, but if you're already have one and you're looking for your second one, chances are you're like us, and it's kind of like potato chips. You can't just have just one,
right.
And you're gonna if you're watching this show, frankly, you probably care enough about this stuff, and you nerd out about it just the same way we do. So you're gonna end up with not necessarily a closet full of 40 kilts plus, but you're gonna have more than one. So I would say start with the ones that obviously you already have the Smith one, but you're gonna have 2, 3, 4, and kind of explore different ways within it. And another way to, keep it budget friendly is if you have one that you don't wear as much, but there's a new one over here that you really fell in love with, maybe sell this one off to be able to purchase that one.
Yep.
So yeah, there's more than one way to skin a cat, but where the cat's skin, I don't know. That got really
And
weird.
use a glove.
Indeed. Yes. But cheers and enjoy your heritage. Enjoy expressing your heritage however you do it. Just have fun with it, guys.
Hey, thank you for watching. So what tartan was your very first kilt? And do you consider yourself now a serial kilter with lots of tartans in your collection? Either way, there are two things I recommend for checking out tartans and what might be a good or bad way to proceed. Number one, check out the tartan gallery at usakilts.com, where you can find all the names of the tartans for the clans and a little bit of information about each one. Second is to join the Kilts and Culture Facebook group, where you can talk to all kinds of good folks with all kinds of ideas on what to do to expand your kilt collection.